in the liquor scam case, Telangana Delhi link that has now emerged, wherein the ED has now made two fresh arrests as far as Hyderabad-based businessmen Benoy Babu and Sharath Reddy. Now, Sharath Reddy is said to be the one who manages the director of Aurobindo Pharma and is allegedly linked with the southern political parties as well. He is also the director of Pernod Ricard, which is one of the biggest importers of foreign liquor. Now, Reddy is also said to be accused of holding a key role in the drafting of the liquor policy in Delhi. On the other hand, if we talk about the other individual, Benoy Babu, who is the general manager of Pernod Ricard, that is also said to be associated with other accused in the case, said to be non-cooperating in the probe. Both of the businessmen who have been now arrested under the sections of the PMLA and are currently under the scanner of the agency with their links to political parties. That is now being investigated. Let's talk more about in another breaking update, because the liquor gate continues to haunt the accused number one. We are talking about Sisodia, the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister, as far as with the OSD September letter now that Times Now has accessed, and which clearly shows that Sisodia tried to allegedly misuse his position, tried to obtain papers from the excise department, and this is coming at a time when we have Pranesh Madhav and Nyamika also joining us live here on the broadcast, as they will help us understand what this letter is all about. Pranesh, the contents on that and what was Manish Sisodia actually trying to do?
This story was broken on Times Now. We broke this story with the document at 12:35, and now we will deep dive into the document to underline what the LG's office is saying. This is by far the biggest charge on Arvind Kejriwal's deputy, the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, who is, Amita, accused number one in the Liquorgate case. The charge is sensational because this talks about the misuse of power. That's the allegation. This letter was written by the OSD of Manish Sisodia at Sisodia's behest. And what did the letter want? Honorable Deputy Chief Minister has desired the photocopies and scanned copy in a pen drive of the files and documents related to formations of the Excise Policy 21-22 and the related tender documents. Now I'll tell you, give me some time to explain this. Tender documents are under lens. It is at the heart of the case, of the alleged wrongdoings in the case. So are the other documents related to the excise policy. Now the LG's office is saying that accused number one, whose role is under the scanner, these papers are under scrutiny. How could he be writing demanding these papers? And his OSD had put it in black and white. And look, the last sentence, therefore requested to kindly provide the above documents. This is the letter dated 30th of September, broken first by Times Now. Now, what happened after this letter was sent by Sisodia's OSD? The law department got into the act, because after the letter reached the excise commissioner, this was forwarded to the law department. Law department said that since the matter is under investigation by various agencies like ED, CBI, the Economic Offence Wing, Income Tax, and because Sisodia is accused number one, and because these papers are under scrutiny, this is blatant misuse of power. Now on the back of this, there is trouble mounting, because this comes on a day, Amita, that two more arrests have taken place. Remember, the BJP has been saying that there's a South connection to the story. That South connection is also under the scanner. Two businessmen have been arrested early morning by the Enforcement Directorate, and all this has come after Sisodia's former aide has turned approver. I'm talking about Dinesh Arora, and now this startling and massive disclosure on Times Now.
Thanks very much for the moment there, Pranesh. But Madhav, coming out to you on that, because as far as the Delhi Deputy CM is concerned, misusing his position as the minister there in the Liquorgate scandal, being now named as the accused number one, in a way also directs in the way that shows that why exactly was the Aam Aadmi Party in a way in a hurry to take back or to retract the liquor policy in Delhi altogether.
You know, was this a cover-up? That's the question number one, and that's a question that perhaps Mr. Manish Sisodia would be best placed to answer at this point of time. Now, this is a claim that has been made by the prosecuting agency. It's a sensational claim that there was some kind of attempt at accessing all the documents documents, all the papers that actually had information and details which the investigators wanted to look into. And very clearly at some level or the other, the allegation coming from the agency is that there was some kind of wrongdoing, because it is the own government and another ministry at that opined and gave a opinion that it would not be appropriate for the minister concerned, since he is very much part of that investigation or is under the scanner, to actually be accessing all of these papers. So to that extent, it does seem to be an embarrassment, or at least questions as far as the role of the Delhi Deputy Chief Minister are concerned. Will the Aam Aadmi Party, will Mr. Manish Sisodia be able to answer? Will they have some kind of cogent explanation as to why they were accessing the files at the time that this investigation was taking place? We don't know at the moment. We will, of course, certainly have to wait and see what they have to say and what their version is of this particular claim that has been made. And of course, while there is a document, what further documents, etc., can come out in the public domain to further substantiate the claims that are being made by the agency, all of these are going to be aspects that we are going to have to wait and watch out for.
All right, Madhav, please do stay on with us. Pranesh, coming back to you on that, because as far as the excise department is concerned, it was under Manish Sisodia, taking several decisions only at the level of the minister without the approval of the competent authority, which is the cabinet, and also subsequently the LG in the matters as well. That also highlights a certain cover-up.
Absolutely. That's perhaps at the root of this controversy, because how can you have a situation where the accused number one, someone who holds a high office, Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi no less, Mr. Manish Sisodia, asking his OSD that, look, why don't we obtain excise policy papers, also the tender documents, because remember, the tender documents and excise policy are the ones which are under the scanner. And now the law department, while dismissing the claim, said that nothing doing, we are not giving you the papers. There was also another bit that I want to highlight for our viewers. The law department opined that excise department may seek permission of the concerned investigating agency which has taken the original files to supply the record copies. If there was nothing to hide, that's the charge by the BJP.
Absolutely. Let's get a BJP point of view here. Pranesh, please to stay on with us. Mr. RP Singh is with us here on the broadcast. RP Singh ji, सीधे तौर पे आरोप लगाया जा रहा है, as far as Manish Sisodia is concerned, he misused his position as a minister in the liquor gate scandal. As far as the OSD note is concerned, that was sent across to the excise commissioner.
आपको ध्यान में होगा जब इन्होंने सारे स्कैम कर लिए और जब चीफ सेक्रेटरी ने रेड फ्लैग रेज किया था, तो इन्होंने पोस्ट फैक्टो कैबिनेट अप्रूवल ली थी उसके ऊपर। ये इसलिए क्योंकि जब अप्रूवल लेनी चाहिए थी कैबिनेट से पहले नहीं ली। जब घोटाले पकड़े गए और घोटाले का पर्दाफाश हुआ तो उन्होंने वापस जाकर कैबिनेट की। इसी प्रकार ये वापस से अपने जो पाप है उसको ढकने के लिए ये सारी फाइल जो डॉक्यूमेंट मांग रहे हैं कि हम किस प्रकार से हम अपने पाप और जितने घोटाले ढक पाए। परंतु ब्यूरोक्रेसी कभी भी आपके पाप में आपका साथ नहीं देगी, और ये चाहते हैं कि ब्यूरोक्रेसी इनके पाप में इनका साथ है, इसलिए ब्यूरोक्रेसी बार बार अपना रेड अलार्म रेज करती है, रेड फ्लैग रेज करती है और चिंता जताती है।
और एक तरीके से सर देखा जाए, जहां तक वो टेंडर्स थे उनके ऊपर भी बहुत बड़ा सवालिया निशान था। किस तरीके से टेंडर के जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स थे उनको इमीडिएटली बुलाना, मीनवाइल द लॉ डिपार्टमेंट आल्सो एडवाइजिंग अगेंस्ट ऑफ द शेयरिंग ऑफ द फाइल। सर, तो सीधे तौर पे एक रेड फ्लैग एक हाईलाइट किया गया था पहले।
यही नहीं, इनके अपने मंत्रालय के एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट के एक बड़े अधिकारी ने दो चिट्ठियां लिखी कि आपने ये जो पूरा टेंडर प्रोसेस किया गलत किया। और ये अक्टूबर 21, अगर मुझे ठीक याद है, 2021 में उन्होंने चिट्ठियां लिखी, कहा कि ये कार्टल्स को और आपने ब्लैक लिस्टेड कंपनीज को ठेका दे रहे हैं, ये ठीक नहीं है। परंतु उस फाइल को भी इन्होंने दबा कर रख लिया और बाद में उसको रेक्टिफाई करने की कोशिश करी। जबकि चीफ सेक्रेटरी ने एलजी को लिखा और एलजी ने ये केस सीबीआई को दिया। तो ये असल में क्या है कि जो घोटाले और पाप की उनको ढकने के लिए या उसको कवर अप करने के लिए ये सारी फाइल्स और डॉक्यूमेंट्स को अपने पास टंगाल रहे हैं।
जी, धन्यवाद RP Singh ji. The BJP now making those allegations, saying that this has been the matter in the state with the Aam Aadmi Party right from the beginning there. But Nyamika, coming to you on this as well, because this is exactly what has been mentioned in the Lieutenant Governor, asking as far as the Chief Secretary to look into this, as far as the Governor office had alleged that this would have been happened only if illegal gratification was given to Manish Sisodia, who was in charge of the excise department. Akashdeep Muni is also with us right now. Akashdeep Muni, serious allegations as far as now being leveled, as far as OSD's letter that has now been accessed. What is the clarification now?
No, there is no clarification actually. This is a fact which OSD reports to the central government directly.
That Sisodia misused his position as minister.
Pardon?
That the deputy CM misused his position as a minister of excise.
See, nobody has misused anybody's position. Documents were asked for through government notification itself. So it's a government procedure. If the law department has given a verbatim, that has to be checked in the court of law and let the authorities work upon it and give a solution to it rather than jumping to conclusions.
No, but can you deny the note to the excise commissioner that was sent in September because it had sought files and documents pertaining to liquor policy, which are the very same files that are under the scrutiny of the central agencies?
See, on the liquor scam, I have told once and again that this particular liquor scam is not a scam actually. There has been 500 raids conducted. If really this had any credibility, then at least some money, some cash.
So credibility or something that is also now being linked to Telangana. We have 2 more arrests and major arrests we are told that has taken place by the ED. Joint investigation, you know, that is taking place on both of the CBI and the ED in the same case. Thank you very much, Mr. Muni, for your point of view. Coming back to you, Nyamika, on that, because this raises a certain lot of questions in the first place itself when the governor had asked for a serious inquiry to look into the Liquorgate scandal.
Well, certainly the trouble has been increased for the Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, because this letter, which has been accessed by Times Now, clearly given a proof that he has basically misused his position, as he has directed his OSD to write a letter to the Excise Commissioner regarding getting files of the excise policy, despite of the fact that he has been accused in this excise matter, and he was the number one accused while the matter is going on in CBI and ED. So that is what has been proved through this letter, and even the law department has also clearly mentioned that this transaction of business rules, a normal procedure cannot be followed at a time when the matter is going on in any of these agencies, whether it is CBI, ED or any other agency. So for that matter, if the Deputy Chief Minister want any files regarding this case, then he have to get permission from these agencies, and that is what the law department has been clearly mentioned. So this comes as a more trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party, because on one hand the Aam Aadmi Party was continuously alleging that this is a tactics of BJP, and
absolutely, because when Manish Sisodia was questioned, Sharath is also with us on the broadcast. Sharath, when Manish Sisodia was questioned, he had refuted all of those allegations, but how exactly would they now explain the letter, the OSD letter to the Excise Commissioner, when he's been pointing out that there are certain misuse allegations that are now being leveled on Manish Sisodia? How would you explain that?
I want to congratulate your channel, Times Now, and your editor-in-chief, Rahul Shivshankar, because you have brought out a very important piece of evidence of collusion and of an attempt to sabotage and interfere with the judicial process into the Sharab Ghotala. This letter that you are showing on Times Now is a clear-cut evidence of attempt to obstruct, interfere, and do not allow the probe into Sharab Ghotala to take place. This is officially using and abusing the position of a minister to hamper the probe, because imagine a situation. Can Nirav Modi ever say that I want access to the files relating to my case? But here accused number one, Manish Sisodia, is saying I want access to files relating to my case. This is to sabotage the truth, to sabotage the probe, to hide the truth, to ensure that the Sharab mafias go scot-free, he gets scot-free, and therefore Mr. Kejriwal kept him as a minister. And imagine this, Amita, that Mr. Kejriwal keeps Satyendra Jain as a minister. That man uses and abuses his official position inside Tihar jail. Now this other person who's accused number one, he is using and abusing his position as a minister outside Tihar jail. And therefore today it becomes untenable, Amita, after this disclosure by Times Now, for Mr. Manish Sisodia to be continued as a minister. He must be immediately sacked without any wastage of time, and Mr. Kejriwal must explain why is the files being sought in a pen drive. Why is an attempt being made to interfere with the probe? Who are they trying to defend? Aren't these the people who got benefits worth thousands of crores and then this money was used as commissions, which was collected, used into Punjab and Goa elections?
Right.
This is untenable. I congratulate your channel for exposing the truth. They must be acted upon. Mr. Manish Sisodia must be told to resign immediately.
But Shahzad, wasn't it in a way highlighted first place by the Delhi LG and his office, because they have been alleging that it would have happened only if illegal gratification was given to Manish Sisodia, who was also in charge of excise and finance. The red flags were already raised.
Absolutely, and we would also say that today this is a clear-cut, one more evidence that the Ghotala has taken place in the Sharath policy, because first Mr. Kejriwal cancels this policy and goes back to the old policy, and today the accused number one is simply demanding all the files relating to the Sharath Ghotala so that he can clear his name. That means दाल में है कुछ काला, बचाना है शराब घोटाला, और इसीलिए मनीष सिसोदिया कर रहे कारनामा काला.
All right, Shahzad, thanks very much for joining in at this point. So the BJP now immediately asking for the resignation of Delhi Deputy CM, who is the accused number one in the case. But let's talk about the Telangana link also that is surfacing. As the Delhi-Telangana link to Liquorgate, in the latest update that suggests that the Enforcement Directorate that made two major arrests under PMLA, the accused who have been identified as businessman Sharath Reddy, who is part of a pharma company, and Benoy Babu, an official of the liquor company as well. Shivya, what is the link?
We have access on Times Now to establish the link and how Reddys are related to this liquor gate. Starting with Penaka Ramprasad Reddy, who is the founder of Aurobindo Pharma. This is a Hyderabad-based company, and he has two sons, Rohit Reddy and Sharath Reddy. We know that Sharath Reddy has been arrested by Enforcement Directorate today, and he is the MD of this company and also Trident Life Sciences. On the other hand, Rohit Reddy, he is the son-in-law of Vijay Sai Reddy, who happens to be YSR Congress MP. So, of course, political links are emerging. On the other hand, we have Magunda Srinivasula Reddy, who is a supplier and distributor of Robin Distillery LLP. Remember, this company is already under the agency's lens. Right. And Boinapalli Abhishek, who is related to this company, was previously arrested by ED. So this is
all right. So multiple arrests that have been taking place, but more importantly, the link now to Telangana and Delhi Liquor Gate becoming clearer now. Shiva, for the moment, thanks very much for joining in. Quickly.